out of office.
All right, good deal. Welcome, everybody. Mayor Eric Clarkson here. Going to call to order the meeting for this evening, City Council Public Hearing Work Session for January 14th. As y'all know, there's been a spike in COVID cases, and we've had several cases within our city. The council have made the very wise decision to go and have this meeting virtually. So appreciate y'all being here. We're scheduled to have a public hearing this evening. We are going to defer that. So with the council, I'll need somebody to make a motion to defer the public hearing to next month's work session.
Motion to defer the public hearing until next month's work session.
Second.
Very good. Is there any discussion on this? All right, so we have a motion and a second then to defer this public hearing, which is 5180 Peachtree Boulevard et al., Chamblee Manor rezoning and DCI. That motion was to defer that until the February work session. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? No? Okay. Very good. All right, so we'll move into the work session then. I'll call that meeting to order. Don't believe we have any announcements or presentation this evening. We have staff action items. We have the approval of the minutes from the City Council public hearing and work session of December 10th. Any discussion? And we have the minutes for the City Council regular meeting of December 15, 2020. Is there any discussion? All right, still under City Clerk, we have an ordinance to update section 2-46, regular meetings, rescheduling of meetings.
Thank you, Mayor. We have our current ordinance states that meetings will be held at the Civic Center, which at this point in time, we're set to demolish or begin demolition of that in April. In looking at this ordinance change, we also noticed that we do not currently have this ability, but we have asked, and the ordinance is written such that any future meeting date that falls on a national holiday, the council will have the opportunity to move that going forward. So those are the two changes, is to change the location and to change the ability to change meeting dates on a national holiday.
Very good. Is there any discussion on this item? All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. The next item we've got is the 2021 General Administrative Annual Appointments. Thank
you, Mayor. These are the annual appointments, and we have presented the appointees from 2020. Staff has no recommended changes related to any of the administrative positions. Malden and Jenkins for auditors, pension secretary Jennifer Burke, election superintendent Amy Neathammer, city attorney Joe Fowler, and all judges and solicitors.
Very good. Thank you, John. Is there any discussion on this item?
So
Very good.
there were any changes to this thing that would be included in the motion on Monday?
Yes.
Tuesday, I mean.
You can meet on Monday, John, but I'm going to be back on Tuesday.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I would imagine, John, if there's anything that does need to change, we can discuss it now if you'd like to, or just, or it can be part of any motion that's made to either adopt what has been presented to us and John just read, or any amended list could be handled at that time as well.
Gotcha.
All right. Anything else on this item before we move on? The next item, number 4, under City Clerk, we have the Ethics Committee appointment.
Thank you, Mayor. This is an annual appointment, and 2 appointments will remain vacant at this time due to a vacancy on council. Those are the current appointments.
Very good. Is there any discussion on this item?
So those, do they have term limits? Because I think I lost one a few years ago due to term limits of this, and so I just wondering if that was affected any of the other positions.
They do have term limits, but none of them were impacted this round.
Okay. Thank you.
Good deal. Stop losing your ethics appointment people, John. You should know where they are at all times. All right. We have the Design Review Board annual appointments.
Thank you, Mayor. The 3 members were scheduled for reappointment. They did submit applications to continue. We do have 1 vacant seat that was vacated, which expires in 2021. We do have one new applicant, and staff is recommending the new applicant for that vacant seat. And here's the list of those.
And what is Sasha Ugi's background? She seemed like the new one, right?
I do not have that information in front of me. Do know that she works currently for, I believe, a construction company. Rebecca, do you have that information?
I am working to pull up her resume right now.
Okay.
So I can just tell you, I know Sasha. I've known her for a while. I think she was with ACEC for a period of time, and she's extremely sharp young lady and would be a wonderful addition to the board.
I'll also be adding the resumes for all of the candidates when we turn the agenda tomorrow.
Perfect.
I think she's with a consultant, John. I think it's an engineering firm, not a construction firm, but I could be wrong. I met her when she worked, I think, with ACEC, but again, very, very sharp young lady.
Yes, I've got it right here. She is currently with Croy Engineering.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. All right. Anything else on this item? All right. The next item then we've got is our RAC, our Recreational Advisory Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. We do have recommended appointments.
All right. Well, good to know. All right. Was there any discussion on this item, guys?
No, the RAC committee doesn't have term limits, do they?
Anybody?
Says on the
do not.
board term expiring, some of them December 31st, 2022, but I don't know if that just means.
No, you'll see at the bottom, Louis Newmark, Jimmy First, and Alberta Lloyd are all serving until 2021. The Recreation Advisory Committee can go anywhere between, I think it's 5 and 9 members. And so they've increased it to 7 this round because, well, a little bit more than that, actually. So they might be at the 9. But those were the recommendations for the term limits. And they roll, half the board rolls off every year. Roughly.
But they don't have, their terms are expiring. They don't have term limits.
That's correct. There's no term limits for the RAC.
Okay.
All right. Because I see Burl's name on there and I was just wondering. I know he served on it before, so that's all right. That's cool.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, good. The next item, number 7 under City Clerk, we have the Discover Chamblee Advisory Committee. It's an annual appointment.
Thank you, Mayor. There is one change. We do have an opening on this at this current time, but also wanted to point out that due to some changes with staff, section 5 and 6, we're recommending that it be a City of Chamblee staff member as determined by the city manager, which is how we are currently also handling the Discover DeKalb staff. That accounts for any changes kind of mid-appointment. We can have someone on the committee much faster.
Okay. Any other discussion of this item? All right. If I'm following along here properly, we're on number 8 under City Clerk, which is the Public Arts Commission.
Thank you, Mayor. We also have an opening on the Public Arts Commission. It was a recently vacated seat.
Okay. Discussion. All right. The last item we have, number 9, last item underneath City Clerk, that is the URA appointments.
Thank you, Mayor. The council appoints for the URA, and then when the URA meets, it appoints a secretary and a treasurer. So this is an annual appointment for the chair and vice chair.
All right. Is there any discussion?
Are there,
Sorry,
we just have called meetings. I'm sorry. We just have called meetings for the URA, don't we? We don't have regularly scheduled meetings.
That's correct.
Okay.
Anything else? All right. City Manager, Municipal Court Consulting Services.
Okay, can we go back to the appointments for a second? Didn't we just do something with the airport advisory appointment? Thought Karen or Brian put that on the agenda and we approved it. How is that being handled now? Because I guess they made some changes in the airport bylaw.
I've been in contact with Mario about that, and they made some changes. Nothing changes until after 2021. They chose to take the whoever's appointed that seat and make them concurrent with the mayor's position in the city. And
Gotcha.
that was a change that they made in their bylaws.
So does that mean that I guess we'll continue with Dan Zanger? Is that what we're doing?
And I talked to Dan and he's willing to serve. I've been in contact with Dan and Mario. We've been emailing together and Dan's willing to serve through the rest of this year because that's when the mayor's term ends, is at the end of 2021.
Gotcha.
All right. Can we move on now?
Mayor Clarkson, I apologize. I do have one question. Number 2, the ordinance regarding the regular meetings and the rescheduling of meetings, would the council like to move that to a first read?
Any objection?
No objection.
Yep, please do move that to first read, Emmy. Thank you for catching us on that.
Thank you.
All right. City Manager, Municipal Court Consulting Services.
Thank you, Mayor. We have really 2 major issues that are impacting the courts right now. The onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, and again, we've recently had a situation in our courts, as well as a transition to a new dedicated space in the public safety building. So we are requesting and recommending that we hire a consulting firm to provide an analysis of current conditions and recommendations for improvement to the municipal court system at a cost not to exceed $25,000. I did attach the proposal to the agenda.
Okay. Discussion on this item?
Just one question. When you say analysis of current conditions, do you mean moving to in the new public safety building, analyzing how that works and making it efficient?
It's actually analyzing, taking the current process that we have, which is at the Civic Center currently, and analyzing that and how that will transition into the new building, as well as recommendations related to best practices and so on.
Good question. Anything else? All right, very good. Thank you, John. We got another one still under City Manager. That's the new city job descriptions, positions.
Thank you, Mayor. We're seeking to advertise and hire and create 3 new positions in the city. The evidence, property, and CSI tech. This is a position in the police department. That it's a job function that's currently being filled by a position that's also performing other duties. This was a recommendation that came out of a recent review, an accreditation review of the department. I believe I'm saying that right, Chief? Is that correct?
And that's correct, when we went through a recertification assessment.
So this is a recommendation from that assessment to create this new position and separate those job functions. Secondly, the planning and development director. Our planning and development director, which is a contracted position, recently left the city and went to another organization. We're recommending that we consider bringing this position in-house, creating that position, and advertising for that. And then a court bailiff supervisor, which is a part-time position. This would help with court securities, and we're looking to create that position, which would then supervise other court bailiffs as needed.
Very good. Is there any discussion on this? Thank you, John. All right. So then the other item we have under City Manager is gateway signage.
Thank you, Mayor. The city will have a new gateway sign located on Chamblee Dunway Road at Savoy Drive. Staff is asking council to select a sign from among the options presented, or choose to conduct 2 design charrettes that would generate new options for consideration. And I do have those options here, and I apologize, but I've lost them somehow. They're not in this. They're not in this presentation.
You sure?
Are they with Mesa's ethics people?
They might be. They might be.
They seem to be lost as well.
I
Okay.
apologize. I'll have that. I'll send that to you and have that.
Old, not the
I don't know
current.
about anybody else, but I looked at the designs and they made a final, like, I guess, 5th design, and I like it. It's great.
Personally, I don't see very much difference except for the sign that's vertical. I mean, there's a little bit of difference. I think the less embellishment on the sign, the better. So I don't know that we need to send this out and have charrettes on it. We're there.
No.
And by the way, how much would a charrette actually cost? John?
The proposal was $2,000, and that was for 2 meetings.
We don't need to spend that money.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
But I like the word charrette.
Well,
Word.
Yeah, Chamblee charrette.
Kind of perky.
it's just kind of a fun word.
It is.
All right, so we'll figure it out, John. I'm agreeing with that. If anybody else thinks differently, but I think we don't need to spend the money, as Leslie said, and we can get our heads together. We're not that far apart on it. We'll figure it out. All right, so then the next item on the agenda is the Development Department, which that has been deferred. That is, again, the Chamblee Manor DCI, and that project was deferred earlier in the meeting. So we have the Police Department, we have non-driver participation in street racing and reckless driving exhibitions.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. This proposal, we're asking for a resolution. We've experienced an uptick in street races and participation. There's no provision for the person that's organizing and participants. So we're looking for to pass this resolution so we can deal with the people that organize these unsafe acts and the people that participate in these unsafe acts and causes unsafe and hazardous conditions for our citizens.
That's great. Any discussion on this item? Yeah, thank you, Chief. This is a big issue. We've gotten some complaints about it here in Chamblee, not as much as possibly in other areas, other cities in the metro, but definitely something we want to stay in front of. And so thank you very much for that. We get to jump down to F for finance. We got a credit card program authorization.
Mayor Clarkson, I apologize, and I apologize to Kristen for interrupting, but Police Department item, would you like to move that to a first read?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, Amy, yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you keeping me on the target here. When I don't have your notes here and I didn't pull, I know you maybe numbered them and sent them to me. I didn't pull them up. I didn't see that needs to go to first read. So yes, if you would please, unless there's objection from the council, I don't hear any, we'll move to first read on that one as well.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you. All right, so go ahead.
No, I was voting yes to move it to first read.
Okay, very good. Finance, we got a credit card program authorization.
Yes, this is part of our transition from BB&T to Synovus. In order for us to participate in their credit card program, we have to have your approval for a monthly transaction amount not to exceed $35,000 a month. That's currently our volume of transaction for credit cards.
Any discussion? All right. Next one is Public Works. Samsara, am I saying that? Samsara agreement?
Thank you, Mayor. Al, can you address this?
Al, you there?
I apologize, Mayor. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, this is for a GPS software program that will replace the existing GPS software program that we're using. We're having a difficult time locating some of our guys out in the field. Obviously, it presents some safety concerns. In addition to that, this program will install a video camera inside of the cab of the vehicle and outside of the vehicle. This will help us to be able to monitor locations where we're having challenges with picking up trash and to take photographs before significant incidents, such as a potential automobile accident or an area where there's a large area of trash that we may not be able to pick up, that we require a special pickup. We're able to send that photograph back to the customer to explain the cost of picking up the items also. We hope that this will also give us a discount on our insurance, because it will give us information such as hard braking incidents, if they exceed a certain miles per hour. Will also let us know when the vehicles are behind on their scheduled maintenance. The total cost of the software is a little bit under $19,000. Funds are available in our stormwater budget and our sanitation and the general fund. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to address it.
Great. Thank you, Al. Is there any questions, discussion from the council? All right. Again, great job, Al. We appreciate you. All right. So nothing other economic developments. John, do we have anything we need to hear from any of our boards, authorities, or committees?
No, sir. Not.
Okay. So then on Tuesday, we'll have a first read amendment to the charter related to quorum. We have an ordinance for the rescheduling of meetings, et cetera. And then also the street racing ordinance or resolution, whichever it is that they need to move to first read from the chief just updated us on. Am I missing anything on first reads?
Mayor, I don't think we actually discussed the rezoning ordinance for 5180 Peachtree Boulevard. That also is available for first read if the council chooses.
I thought we moved that, we deferred that.
We deferred the public hearing and
I would make a motion to defer the February work session.
Second.
Very good. So is there any discussion on this item? All right, so John, what I heard was a motion and a second to move the first read of the rezoning also to the February work session. All those in favor say aye.
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 There's two. Anybody in opposition? All right, that passes unanimously, John. So that's going to move. That's not going to be on a first read on Tuesday evening. That will be first read next month.
very good.
Then we'll have a second reading in ordinance, which is chapter 74, the infrastructure maintenance fee ordinance revisions. Mayor and council items, all big stars. Citizen comment. I'm assuming we don't have an executive session.
We do not.
Okay. Council have anything they want to add at this point to the meeting? I'll just say thank you, everybody, for your patience. We'll get through this.
Is there not a comment option through this Zoom meeting? Right. There's not a citizen comment option in this meeting. There are people that are signed up or anything?
I believe, John, it's been a while since we did this, Bud, like this way, but I thought everybody other than the panelists, us on here, the staff, were muted. I don't know. I think people were asked to email something in. Emmy, did you get anything emailed in for public comment?
Let me check 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry, my email's running a little slow.
It's all right. I'm running a little slow.
I do not have anything for this meeting. No, sir.
Very good. So we will then encourage anybody that wants the public comment to be read into the record, just send it over to Emmy. And again, thank you to everybody for your patience. Thank you to the council and staff for your leadership. We'll get through this pandemic. I'm glad everybody's staying healthy. Do you have anything else, John Walker?
We do not.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will adjourn the meeting and write this one up as another great meeting.